This is Lineage Performing Arts Center with Brian Elerding, Executive Director. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Executive Director of the Lineage Performing Arts Center, but I'm also the teacher of the Acting for Parkinson's class. And I'm wondering if I could trouble you to do an exercise with me. I've been asked to bring a little bit of the class to you. Can I bring a little bit of the class to you? It's going to require some participation, but I promise it'll be super fast, and hopefully it'll be fun. Okay, in class, folks with neuroatypicalities like Parkinson, like MS, TBI, and stroke benefit from games and exercises where they imitate each other. They also benefit from exercises that push their expression, both physically, vocally, with facial expression, with body expression, with breath. So we're going to do a little bit of that. It's called the monster game. It's as simple as this. I'm going to point at one of you. You're going to make a monster. It's simple. It's just like, or ah, or you're going to make a sound, and you're going to make a gesture with your body. And if you want extra credit, you can do something with your face, too, because that's always even better. So I'm going to start, and it's going to go quick. It's going to go bam, 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 bam. I'm just going to point at you. Don't think too much. Think right now, what's like my best monster? What's the best sound I could make as a monster? Don't hurt yourself. Keep your voice. Don't screech or scream. That's a great way to hurt your throat. But if you do some sort of fun sound, it makes everything better. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to point at you. I'm going to come out in the audience a little bit and do this. Okay, here we go. So me first. I'm going to do it, and you're going to copy me, okay? And what's going to happen after that is I'm going to point at somebody. They're going to do it. I'm going to do it, and you're going to copy me copying them, okay? Very excited. All right, here we go. Me first. Ready? Perfect. Music. You. 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 Over here, Chris. One more. Good. Okay, thank you so much for rolling with me on that. I know it's fun. Yeah, thank you. What you've already done, without really giving too much thought to it or having any acting experience whatsoever necessarily, is you've participated in an acting exercise. And that I shared that just to show you how, hopefully, fun it will be, but also how inclusive it can be. You can do that seated in a chair. You can do that with partial or full paralysis. There are many ways that you can participate in acting exercises. Now, here at the Lineage Performing Arts Center, we have a program called Dance for Joy. And it's called Dance for Joy, but we also have music therapy, where we do singing. We also have what I teach, which is acting. We started off as a small group. Some of our teaching artists studied with the Mark Morris Dance Group. Some of you may be familiar with the Dance for PD program there. It's incredible. David Leventhal is a master at what he does. They studied with him. They brought it back to Pasadena, where we are, and they modified it for our own purposes. It started off with only 3 people in it. For like 3 or 4 years, it was just 3 people in the class every week. It's free. But then something happened. Somebody joined our group who said, you know, you might want to try doing outreach. And so we did. We started doing outreach. And we started going to conferences. We started going to support groups. By the way, I'm sort of slanting my talk today to be for other arts organizations or healthcare providers, just like a peek behind the curtains to see how we do what we do. We got somebody on our board who has Parkinson's, and all of a sudden everything opened up for us because we were actually consulting the community that we were trying to serve. What a novel idea. And since then, the program has just grown and grown. That dance class got so big it had to split into 2 dance classes, and we added music therapy. Then they found out that I am an actor. I come from a background of TV and theater and film, and they said, you should do some teaching. And I thought, okay. And then what started off as a 6-week experiment has now been going on for 5 years. We get grants. There's lots of grants out there for this type of thing. So if you're considering doing it, there is support for it. Like I said, weekly classes, 50 weeks a year. We also have shows that we do. We call them the Lineage Follies, where we show off what people have been working on all the classes. So I'm going to just go sort of show you some of the things that we work on here. A few notes about what I think is helpful. I think if you want to do arts and health, people have to engage with each other. It's really essential for people to actually get to engage with at least one other person, even if it's just online. The other idea is you really want to create community. You really want to create a community as you do this. Get people together. One of the things we found was that our program flourished after we started having a lunch period between classes. So people could just hang out together, share medicine, share stories, just talk. And then people all of a sudden started driving with each other. They started carpooling together. And now all of a sudden, they all know each other very well. They have friends. And you may or may not know this, sometimes folks differently abled, especially with neuroatypicalities like Parkinson's that have a physical component, feel ostracized. They feel a little bit uncomfortable with their cogwheel tremors out in public. And so being around other people who have similar challenges can be very comforting. It has to be novel. So we try and bring in new things. We did a little lesson on stage combat with the acting class. There were several fatalities. It has to be meaningful to the people involved. Like, I can care about it all I want, but if it's not meaningful to the people involved, it's just stapled on. It's just superficial. So this is a picture of Weldon and Linda doing Romeo and Juliet. They love Shakespeare. We actually started off doing Shakespeare. They're Parkinson's students. They called themselves the Shakes, which I think is perfect. They decided to do Romeo and Juliet. And we did it as part of our Follies. They did the balcony scene, as you can see here. And they both loved it so much that we were working on it outside of class. We were coming in and rehearsing it because it was meaningful to them. This is something they cared about deeply. We also want it to be challenging. This is Leilani Wilmar-Jones. She is a Tony Award-winning Broadway star who now lives in Pasadena. Luckily, she's on our board now. And she comes in from time to time to do vocal exercises with our acting class outside of the music therapy class that we have. We also encourage people to engage the different elements of theater, even in the dance class, even in the music class. This is a picture of people playing with props and just whatever we could find around the theater. So there's a fan, there's a bunch of paperwork, and we grabbed a piece of text, just smashed things together and experimented. That's sort of an element of fun. By engaging all these elements of theater, you can really engage people's imaginations and have them making things they never thought they'd make. We also think it's important to share things out, to have something to look forward to. If you can, some sort of performance, or maybe a video. We actually made a documentary over COVID times because we couldn't get together to make a play. So we shot a bunch of stuff over Zoom, and as soon as we could, we got into the theater, called in some favors from industry folks we could get, and shot a thing that we're going to show at film festivals. The takeaway, I hope, is that this is something you can do. I did not know I could participate in arts and health. I was just an actor who was managing a nonprofit, but I got sucked in. It's changed my life. I've grown from it. I've learned from it. I'm so grateful to be involved in arts and health now, and I didn't think I was going to be because, I didn't go to med school. What do I have to contribute? Well, it turns out a lot of the arts, a lot of the things that we do as actors, a lot of the things that we do as dancers, as singers, are fantastic for everybody, whether you're an artist at all. These things are very good for you to participate in, physically, mentally, emotionally. So I hope you all, to what degree you're involved in these things, I hope you consider jumping in and getting your hands dirty. Thanks so much.